The darkness crept in like a thief, stealing the stars from the night sky. It was as if the very fabric of reality had grown tired of holding its shape, and now it sagged under the weight of an unseen force. Dr. Maya Rostova stood at the edge of her command center, her eyes fixed on the main view screen, where the cosmos unfolded like a canvas of endless blackness. Her team, a motley crew of scientists and engineers, bustled around her, their voices hushed but urgent, as they worked to unravel the mystery that had brought them to this desolate corner of the galaxy. "What's our status?" Maya asked, her voice low and steady, a thread of calm in the growing chaos. "Main power plant is online, Mom," replied her chief engineer, a gruff but capable woman named Rachel. "We're still running diagnostics on the quantum arrays, but so far everything looks good." Maya nodded, her mind already racing ahead to the challenges that lay ahead. She had been tracking this anomaly for weeks, and nothing about it made sense. A planet? Its mass slowly imploding, as if some unseen force was devouring it from the inside out. And then there were the dreams. Maya's eyes narrowed as she recalled the vivid, disturbing images that had plagued her sleep for days. Visions of a world consumed by an insatiable hunger, its inhabitants reduced to mere playthings in the cosmic game of survival. She pushed the thoughts aside, focusing on the task at hand. Her team was counting on her to find a solution before it was too late. The planet's gravity was fluctuating wildly, causing distortions in space, time that threatened to pull everything into its abyss. "Rachel, can you get me a reading on the planet's core?" Maya asked, her voice firm and commanding. Rachel nodded, her eyes flicking to the data streaming across her console. "It looks like the core is unstable, ma'am. I'm not getting any clear readings, but it seems like whatever is happening down there is causing a kind of resonance." Ah! Maya's gut twisted with unease. She knew that resonance. She'd seen it before in simulations and theoretical models, but never in real time. This was something new, something that defied explanation. As if sensing her unease, the darkness outside seemed to grow thicker, like a physical presence that pressed against the hull of their ship. "Ben?" Maya called out, her voice low and urgent. "When need you here?" "Now." Her second in command, Benji Thompson, strode into the room, his eyes scanning the chaos before settling on Maya's face. "What have we got?" he asked, his tone crisp and professional. Maya took a deep breath, her mind racing with possibilities. "We've got a planet that's going to implode, Ben. And I think it's not just gravity at play here. I think there's something else involved." Ben's expression turned skeptical. "Something like what?" Maya's eyes locked onto his. "I don't know yet, but I intend to find out." "What do we know about the planet's history?" Maya asked Ben, her voice firm and focused. Ben scratched his chin thoughtfully. Not much, ma'am. We've got some basic scans from our initial flyby, but nothing that suggests any unusual activity before this anomaly started. Amaya nodded, her mind already racing with possibilities. She had a theory, one that seemed far-fetched at first glance, but the more she thought about it, the more it made sense. What if this isn't just a natural phenomenon? She asked Ben, her voice low and urgent. Ben raised an eyebrow. What do you mean? Maya's eyes locked onto his. I think we're looking at something psychic. The room fell silent as Ben processed Maya's words. Rachel looked up from her console, her expression a mix of confusion and curiosity. You mean, like, telepathy? Ben asked finally. Maya nodded. Exactly. I've been tracking this anomaly for weeks, and the more I learn about it, the more I think we're dealing with some kind of collective unconscious. Auchus. Ben's eyes narrowed. You think the planet itself is aware? Maya shrugged. I don't know what else to call it. But whatever it is, it seems to be drawing energy from the surrounding space, time. And that's not just gravity at play. There's something alive in there. The room fell silent as Maya's words sank in. The darkness outside seemed to pulse with an otherworldly energy, as if it too were waiting for her next move. Ben, Maya said finally, her voice low and determined. I think we need to get closer. We need to understand what's happening here. Ben nodded, his expression grim. Mom, I don't know if that's a good idea. Whatever is out there, it doesn't seem like something we can negotiate with. Amaya's eyes locked onto his. I'm not looking for negotiations, Ben. I'm looking for answers. And I think the only way to get them is to go in there and face whatever it is head on. The darkness outside seemed to pulse in time, with the erratic hum of the ship's engines as Maya and Ben began their analysis. What do you make of this resonance? Maya asked, her voice low and focused as she studied the data streaming across Rachel's console. Ben shook his head. I'm not sure, but it looks like whatever is happening down there is causing some kind of harmonic feedback. If we're reading it correctly, it's like the planet itself is trying to communicate with us. Maya raised an eyebrow. Communicate. That's a pretty big stretch, Ben. We're talking about a planet on the brink of implosion here. What could it possibly be saying? Ben shrugged. Maybe that's the wrong way to look at it. Maybe this resonance is like a call for help or something. Maya's expression turned grim. I don't think we have time to indulge in philosophical debates. Ben, we need to focus on stopping this implosion before it's too late. Rachel looked up from her console, her eyes flicking between Maya and Ben. Ma'am, I'm getting some weird readings from the planet's surface. It looks like there are patterns or something, like someone's trying to send us a message. Maya's gaze snapped back to Rachel. What kind of patterns? Rachel hesitated before speaking. It's hard to describe, ma'am, but it looks like drawings or symbols or something. They're appearing and disappearing in this weird pattern, almost like they're trying to spell out a message or something. Maya's eyes met Ben's, their minds racing with the implications. Jet me everything you can on those patterns, Maya ordered, her voice firm and commanding. I want to know what they mean and how we can use them to stop this implosion. Ben nodded, his expression grim. Aye, ma'am. I'll get right on it. As the three of them set to work analyzing the strange patterns. The darkness outside seemed to grow thicker, like an unseen presence waiting for them to uncover its secrets. Line breaks indicate dialogue. Sant, continue. The darkness crept in like a thief, stealing the stars from the night sky. This isn't just about gravity, Ben, Maya said, her voice low and urgent. Whatever is happening down there is affecting space, time itself. Ben's eyes narrowed. You're talking about a wormhole. Maya nodded. Or something similar. We need to get a team on the planet's surface to gather data before it's too late. Ben's face set in a determined expression. I'll assemble a team. Maya. But we need to be careful. If whatever is happening down there is affecting space-time, we could be looking at a catastrophic event. Maya's eyes locked onto his. We have to try, Ben. We can't just stand by and watch as an entire planet disintegrates before our eyes. The darkness outside seemed to grow thicker, like a physical presence that pressed against the hull of their ship. Ben nodded. I'll get the team ready. But Maya, are you prepared for what we might find down there? Maya's face hardened into a determined mask. I'm not going to let whatever is happening on that planet destroy millions of lives, Ben. I won't back down now. The darkness outside seemed to surge forward, as if it sensed her determination. Ben's eyes met hers. Then let's get moving, Maya. We've got a planet to save. But together, they strode out into the darkness, their footsteps echoing through the ship as they prepared to face whatever horrors lay ahead. As they descended onto the planet's surface, the air grew thick with an unseen force that seemed to writhe and twist around them. The gravity warped and distorted, causing the landscape to shift and ripple like a living thing. And in the distance, a figure stood watching, its presence seeming to draw the very life out of the air itself. Maya's eyes narrowed. What are we looking at? Ben's face was grim. I think it's the source of the anomaly, Maya. Whatever is happening on this planet, it's not natural. Bah! The darkness seemed to coalesce into a presence that loomed over them, its power palpable and terrifying. Maya's voice was steady, her determination unwavering. Then, let's go find out what it is. Together, they stepped forward, their footsteps echoing through the stillness as they approached the heart of the mystery. And in that moment, they knew that nothing would ever be the same again. The darkness swallowed them whole, and the stars went dark forever.